folks. How you going? Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. Well, it's the Ducks again. Wednesday night, and we are Hump Day with the Ducks. So happy Hump Day, everybody. I've just finished a beverage made out of moo juice and some coffee stuff. You tell me what it was. It was rather scrummy. Anyway, here we are today. It is the 10th of January. Can you believe it? We've already gone 10 days into January. Oscar Mike Golf. What a day. Okay, first up for 588 trillion zillion points on the Fair Star, Nick P. Bidet, everyone. Took a nasty spill yesterday and had to go to the hospital. That's no good. Thank goodness you're okay. Just sore, but still breathing, so you're alright. Now, mate, what the hell did you do? Seriously, what on God's earth did you do? Did you get involved with a Tasmanian devil? Not that you'd have any up there, but anyway. G'day, Joe, how you doing, buddy? Nice to see you. We were sitting on 26 during the day. It's currently 21 with 69% humidity. How's weather up in Dubbo? Give us a heads up. G'day, Sharon. Nice to have you here. Welcome aboard and good evening to you. Hope everything's going well with you and the fam and your sister and all that sort of stuff. So nice to see that you're in lowercase letters and not the stress of uppercase. Saying g'day to Joe, saying g'day to Nick. Joe, you hit the nail on the head, mate. Kahlua and milk. Man, but otherwise known as a White Russian. Very nice drink. Considering I've had an interesting day today, but hey, yep, it's a sweetener on the palate. So there we go. G'day to Sharon. How are you, Joe? Joe's saying it's 33C there today. What's it right now, mate? What is it right now? G'day, Daniel. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here, buddy. Nice to see you. All right, Sharon. Spill the beans. What's the super great news? You coming down under? What's the good news? Joe is saying to Sharon, hot, trying to work out what the latest time he can leave this to meet up with a coach on its way to Parks. Still 31. Oh, God. That's a warm night. I don't reckon you guys are going to drop too much below 29. That's a warm night. I feel for you guys. Hopefully you've got AC on the bus and... on the coach. And you stay nice and warm. Your sister... Oh, thank God for that one, Sharon. That's magic news. Absolutely magic news. So glad about that. Thank goodness. Hey, I was wondering if any of you could possibly figure out what have I got behind me in the pictures. So, in the thumbnail, there are 4 pictures of 4 different places. Where are we and what do you see? All right. Now, Joe, interestingly enough, mate, Jimmy popped in straight after the show. So there he was. He missed it again. All right, Sharon, you're talking F there. That's F for frickin' cold. 41, seriously. Take away 30. That's 11, divide that by 2, so you're looking at 6.5 degrees. That's frickin' cold. Or 5.5, I should say. That's frickin' cold. And Joe, yep, that's great news. So, your sister does not have it, so, wow, we're really excited about that. That's good news. Absolutely, Joe, that is good news. So, how are you staying warm, Sharon? If 41 is what you are right now, how are you staying warm? And 31 in Dubbo, 31, 62 plus 30. It's about 90, 93 up where Joe is. 21, 42, 50, 60, 70, about 75 is what it is down here right now. So we're having quite a pleasant time. For you, it's the electric blanket. Well, you got to stay warm one way or the other. Just don't forget that at some point in the evening, turn it off so you don't your electricity bill doesn't go through the roof. Joe had to laugh at a mate earlier. He called a coach design coach body and Larissa, not a good thing to do. Oh no. That's not a good thing to do. It's air conditioning for me and Sean. That's correct. It is. Actually, I've got a little fan that's blowing away in the breeze here. This little fan is doing real well. It's one of those that you might stick on a say an RV of some sort. Works well. So it's keeping us nice and cool, keeping the airflow going, which is basically what we want. So has anybody picked the places behind me yet? Okay. Irizar. Ah, thanks for that, Joe. Is a Brazilian bus and a coach builder. Oh my goodness me. Well, some people put their foot in it, mate. Oh yeah, sure. You turn it off when you get up. That's the first thing you do. Oh, that's awesome. I once had an electric blanket, and I wondered why my electricity bill went through the roof. It's because I'd accidentally left it on during the day when I went to work. Oh my goodness me. Things happen, right? Okay, so come on, folks. What are the pictures behind me, do you know? I might get into telling you a little bit later on. How warm is it there where you're at, Joe? So for Joe, currently it's about 92 degrees for Joe. So that's like really warm. Joe's sort of like in the middle of the country, in a place called Dubbo, and if you look at it if you Google it on the map, Dubbo, and it is actually quite warm there. So there we go. Joe, well, the coach operator at our mutual friend is doing some driving for runs. Lirizars with a smattering of Yutongs and Scanias with coach designs. Oh wow. Yes, Sharon. Oh crap. It is hot. Well, summer for us. What do you expect? So, but you know what the good news is? You can go out and do things. Like, for example, going to see this place over here. This is awesome to go and look at. Joe is saying to Sharon, it's bloody hot. Dubbo's the name of the city, not a town, Sean, I live in. Okay, I'm sorry, mate. Yes, Dubbo is a city. A small city compared to Melbourne where I live. But I apologise, mate. You can go out and do a nudie run. Well, you can do that there. That's true. But nobody would take notice, right? Sharon, Joe, it's 4:10 in the AM there in South Georgia. And dark, no doubt, right? Have you had any of that white stuff on the ground? I know they had it in Chicago. Joe, you're getting giggles there. So have you got any of their white stuff, Sharon? Um, Joe is going, that first photo in the bottom row has to be Great Barrier Reef. Absolutely. Well done, mate. That is the Great Barrier Reef right over there. What is this? Do you know? See if you know. I don't think I'll use. I don't think I'll use this picture this way again, because it's doing some things to some of the fancy stuff. But anyway, Sharon is going, no, that word there, where only sleep didn't last long. That's cool. And rain, that's cool. Joe says he's only good with Australian geography. So then you might be able to tell me what this building is, what this part is here. Yeah, I got it. You might be able to tell me what this is. I need to play GeoGuess more. Yeah, you're right, you should. Well, this one behind me here is not hard to tell because it's got the iconic sails. Whoops. But hang on. But what is this? And what is this? I'll give you a hint. These are both in the same place. Just slight differences. Photo 2 is easy. Yes, it is. It is Sydney. It was taken on the side of the overseas passenger terminal. Harbour Bridge was to my left, and in front of me was the Sydney Opera House. To the right was Circular Quay. But, oops, what is this one and this building? See if you know. If you know, Joe, well, mate, what can I say? Your trip is going to be absolutely fantastic. Only an hour and a quarter by air from Dubbo, 4.5 hours by road. From where? From Sydney. Yes, you're right, from Sydney, not from Melbourne. You're way too far away. Okay, now, these are just some of the sites. 6.5 hours by XPT, yep. 6.5 from Melbourne, no. 6.5 from Sydney. Dubbo's 2.5 from Melbourne. Flight. And yeah, it's right in the middle between Melbourne and Brisbane. Okay, let me put this up so everybody can see. Dubbo is 2.5 hours from Melbourne and 2.5 hours from Brisbane. So it's right in the middle. Dubbo to Sydney is 4.5 hours by road. And that's by air. Also, Dubbo is 2 hours. No, sorry, I read that one before. 6.5 hours by XPT. From where? Sydney. XPT, by the way, folks, is the train. It's supposed to be the fast train. Yeah, supposed to be. Let me give you a heads up of what's been in port today. In Melbourne, today was the Silver Whisper and also the Seabourn Odyssey. Tomorrow will be the Pacific Explorer, and on Friday we're going to get the QE, Queen Elizabeth. In Sydney today, okay, let me just catch up. In Sydney today, they had the Royal Princess. They also had the Seven Seas Navigator at White Bay, and the Europa also at White Bay. Tomorrow they will have Carnival Splendor and the Ovation of the Seas. Ovation of the Seas is going to be on Friday, and Disney Wonder is going to be on Friday as well. I didn't know Disney Wonder was small enough to go underneath the bridge, but apparently it is. Celebrity Edge will be in Sydney on Saturday. Did I tell you guys that we're going on a Celebrity Edge cruise next year? Did I? I might. Just remind me if I haven't told you already. In Brizzy, let me see what's going on in Brizzy. In Brizzy today was nothing, but tomorrow they've got the Coral Princess, and then Friday they've got the Quantum of the Seas. So that's what's happening in the world of cruising right now, and where the ships are. All right, let's get back to basics. So Joe is going on a crappy Saab 340 plus turboprop. Hey mate, it's a flight. It'll get you there. The XPT is New South Wales Express passenger train. It runs from Sydney to Dubbo, Casino and Grafton in New South Wales, and then also Sydney to Melbourne and Sydney to Brisbane. It is the fast train. And it does also from time to time not do a direct run. If it's going Melbourne, Sydney, it's kind of like an express train. So, Joe, have you figured out what that one is and that one is yet? If you do, I'd be very impressed. All right, let me give you some timetable drops now. You know, folks, we've got 284 days to go. 284 days to this particular cruise. Oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so now we happen to know that for a fact we've got Roxanne, who's our recipient for that cruise, is going to be on that cruise. So it's going to be loads of fun, loads of enjoyment, lots of merriment, and any other word that I can use with the same things that says lots of fun. Joe is saying some XPT trips between Sydney and Casino and both Sydney to Melbourne and Sydney to Brisbane utilise sleeper carriages as they run overnight. Yes, that is correct. They do run overnight. But if you were to use the non-XPT, your time frame would be increased. I think the trip between Melbourne and Sydney on the XPT is 13 hours, but the regular train, which stops at every bloody, the Milk Run train that stops at every stop, that's like a 15-hour train ride. So the XPT certainly makes a load of difference. We're wishing for the day that we can get something like the bullet train come on in, because that'll take Melbourne, Sydney and turn it into maybe a 2-hour train ride. That'd be awesome. That would be awesome. It would certainly give flying a run for its money. Rob, what are you talking about, mate? We're talking about trains. Get with the program. Come on in. Sean, I'd love to go on a cruise, but with all that we've been going through the last few months, we don't have the money, and my sister can't. Yeah, I get that. You know what? There's stuff happening your side of the pond fairly shortly. If not this year, maybe next year you might be lucky enough. Joe, Sharon, are you still here? Yes, Sharon is here. be lifting any suitcases. You don't need to lift. And your sister doesn't need to lift because some of those suitcases are on wheels, and generally we suggest you don't overpack on a cruise. If you overpack on a cruise, then there you go. Okay, send me the link, but it might be, but I might not be able to stay very long, mate. I'm just happy here to chat along with the people in the chat. You know, I would rather if somebody came on, they'd come on and not hit and run, which I don't do. I don't like doing hit and run. And Sharon is saying, yes, she's still there. Rob is having a giggle. Joe, I'm not adulting very well tonight. Well, mate, you know what? You are. You're doing fine. You're doing fine. See, even Sharon agrees with me. Even Sharon agrees with me. All right, now, so let's go back to the dates. You know, there's 350 days to go. Yes, that's right. To meeting our friend Santa Claus. 350 days to Christmas. There's 356 days to watching the fireworks in, just behind me here, Sydney Harbour. Watching it at the harbour. That would be amazing. Then in 358 days, we're looking at the cruise of all time. Excited than that. I mean, just a golf clap. Come on, seriously. Come on. Oh, all right. You're going to go for the crickets instead. Oh well. That is in 358 days away. Yes, Joe. 356 is New Year's. Time flies when we're having fun, right? And I know you're going to say thanks, but you know what? At the end of the day, mate, 356 days away. We're in a leap year, which means it could have been 355. So thank goodness we got a leap year. All right. Rob is saying, really? Are you counting until he comes again? He just came like 16 days ago. That's correct. Because I have a reason to count. Joe is saying he's flown so many different aircraft from DHC 8s to a mix of Q315s and Q402s to ERJ 190 100 GWs, ERJ 154 LRs to BAE J3206s and B738s. He's flown on them all. Yeah, but did you fly a 380? Have you flown a 787? Have you flown a 777? Whoa, Joe, you love to travel, huh? Like all of us. That's why we're cruisers. That's why we're cruisers. All right. Okay, now, if I didn't do this one, I'd get into trouble. Okay, wait a minute. Joe is saying an eclectic mix of domestic aircraft. Yep, there's a few of those. A few of those. All right, now I've got to do this one. After 358 days. Now, this is one that you might be able to do, Sharon. In 521 days, there's going to be this particular cruise. It's going from Seattle to Alaska, and it's put on by Ocean to Ocean. Here it is.
Have you been dreaming of an Alaskan cruise? Or maybe you've taken one before and you just can't wait to go again. If so, the Helping Hands for Cruising Group Cruise is just the cruise for you. June 15th through June 22nd, 2025, you will set sail on the magnificent Norwegian Encore. This amazing group cruise will take you to Juneau, Skagway, a majestic cruise through Glacier Bay, Ketchikan, a stop in Victoria, British Columbia before arriving back in Seattle. Contact Bruce at ocean2oceantravel.com today to find out how you can be a part of this fantastic group cruise to Alaska. This is one you definitely don't want to miss.
So there you go. It is a cruise that we all don't want to miss, us included. And you know what, folks? It's on our bucket list. And hopefully sometime in the near future, we will have won that magical lottery thing. You never know. Stranger things could happen. Stranger things could happen. Joe is saying, and yes, I do love to travel. That's to Sharon, and that's awesome, Joe, from Sharon. So there we go. Now there's only one cruise that I can't really show you, which we're looking at. It's roughly around the 688-day mark. We're looking at the Rock and Roll Group Cruise. We're still trying to figure out which ship we're going on, but we'll find that out fairly soon. Okay, Joe is saying he loved those ERJs. The 145 LRs, the engine sitting at the back of the aircraft, right outside the rearmost row of the seats. Is that where you were sitting, mate? Did you hear those engines? Joe is saying, Sean, did you know that Qantas Link are retiring their Boeing 717-200s and replacing them with the new Airbus A220-300s? I was aware that they were coming into retiring out those aircraft, but I think what they'll be doing is those 717s might make really good freight aircraft, so they might use them for domestic freight and keep the 220s as passenger aircraft. So Qantas Link, while Qantas Link might not be flying people, they could very well be flying the mail. Stranger things could happen, you know. At any rate, it's going to be a fun time, especially with all the new aircraft. Now, I got something in the mail today, which came from Princess, and Princess are talking about some of their specials that they've got on, and currently they're talking about doing a cruise, a 13 to 14 night cruise, going out of where are we going out of? Going out of Sydney and doing a circuit around, going across the Dutch, the Dutch to New Zealand, going from Sydney to New Zealand. I should stop doing that because the Kiwis will get upset. And looking at a 13 to 14 night cruise, balcony cruise, a balcony cabin, standard, you're looking at just $1 short of $2,500 per person. If you were to take an interior, you're looking at $1 short of $1,800 for a standard. And to be honest, I'm not exactly sure of the differences. But you're looking at, for a mini suite, you're looking at $1 short of $3,300 for a cruise that is going to be absolutely amazing, because they go from Sydney down through the Milford Sound, so they go through the Fiordland National Park. They then stop in at Dunedin or Port Chalmers. They then go into, they go and see Christchurch. And then they go into Wellington, and then I don't know I think it's Tauranga, and then Auckland. There's one missing, and I don't know what that other one was. It's not a port. Tauranga, Auckland, the Bay of Islands, and then back into Sydney. So that's an awesome trip. Tell you what, though, the view that you'd be looking at would be absolutely stunning, and that would be on either the Majestic, Royal Crown, or Discovery Princess. Looks like that's an amazing cruise to do. They've also got what else have they got? New Zealand, Tasmania, going Sydney, Eden, straight down to Hobart. Oh, that's interesting. Skipping out on Melbourne. And you know why? Because of those bloody port fees. Sydney, Eden, Hobart, Port Arthur, back to... So they're going Sydney, Eden, Great Oyster Bay, Hobart, Port Arthur, then back to Sydney. You're looking at a buck short of $900 for an interior, a buck short of $1,200 for a balcony, and a buck short of $1,550 for the mini suite. I mean, that's quite reasonable. Sydney up to Queensland, so you're looking at Sydney, Moreton Island, Airlie Beach, Cairns, Port Douglas, out to Willis Island, and then back down to Sydney. You're looking at a buck short of $1,300 for an interior, a buck short of $1,780 for a balcony, and a buck short of $2,350 for a mini suite. They've also got one in here that's Southern Australia Explorer. So that one goes out of Melbourne, surprisingly enough, Melbourne, Phillip Island, into Kangaroo Island, or Port Lincoln first, Adelaide, and then Kangaroo Island, and then back into Melbourne. That one's short of $1,000. That's a 7-nighter. That one is short of just a buck short of $1,000. And then we've got interior, which is a buck short of $1,300, and then a buck short of $1,700 for a mini suite. So there's some things that Princess are doing, which is rather amazing. Let's have a look back in the chat. Sharon is going, oh man, that's super great to go somewhere like that. Yep, it is. It is awesome. We've never been to Alaska, so it'll be a nice trip for us if we do decide to go, but no, we can't. Because the bank manager and I don't have that kind of relationship. Joe is saying the Airbus A220-300 is the old Bombardier C series, still manufactured in Mirabel, Quebec. Yup. Joe is saying he'd love to do a trip from Sydney to Dallas Fort Worth on a Boeing 787-10 Dreamliner. I've done that. Actually, no. We haven't been to Dallas. We've been to Houston, which is... oh, God, this chat's now gone to hell. Oh, serious. Ross is coming to the game. Oscar Mike Golf, seriously? You woke me up, how rude. How could I have woken you up? Seriously, if you would have put it on dead silent, you would not have been awake. But anyway, you're here, so welcome aboard, buddy. Nice to have you here. And you can tell me or tell us if there's any good news. Joe is saying a dollar short of $1,800 or $1 to $1 short of $2,500. Yeah, that was for that cruise. But it's worth it, you know, because it's like 14 nights, close to 14 nights, and you're going around and you're having a look at the country. Yo, Ross, you rock. Okay, don't get too high there. G'day, William. How you going? Hump Day, Shawnee. Myself and Angel bid you a good morning and much love. Thank you, buddy. Likewise. How you doing? I hope everything's going well for you, William. Hope it's all good, and I hope 2024 does amazing things for you. Joe is saying after the flight from Sydney to Dallas Fort Worth, then you'll then fly down to Orlando, Florida. Well, we kind of did that. We flew into Houston and then caught the plane from Houston down to Tampa, which was not that far away. Sharon is saying good day to Ross. Oh, Lucas just popped in. Michael Ann, welcome aboard, Michael Ann. Nice to have you here. Ross, do they have excursions to the small village of Titiwatis? Um, that would be a U.S. based excursion because we don't have any of those down under. We have Maoris and don't, and you wouldn't want to strike up a conversation with a Maori like that. Joe's saying g'day to Michael Ann. Michael Ann is saying just up to go to the bathroom. Well, don't wet the floor. Just, go there, come on back, or go to bed, whichever. We're glad you popped in for 2 minutes. Morning all. It's too dang early. It's frickin' 2036. What are you talking about? G'day, Joe from Michael Ann. Joe is saying, how's Canada, Michael Ann? Hey, Michael Ann, have you had any of that white stuff on the floor? I know Ross had a bit of that white stuff earlier on. It's only 2:34 Mountain Time. Well, William, you got to get off the mountain and come on our side of the town. Rainy in southern Ontario. Okay. If it's just rainy, do you have any? Is there any of that white stuff on there? Heading off for a TikTok live. Take care, everyone. Mate, enjoy your TikTok live. I hope you have a great night. And, mate, you just have the most amazing time on your festival. Your Elvis, thank you very much. Elvis Festival. Michael Ann, see you later, Joe. Sharon, take care, Joe. See you later. And, okay, William, still getting used to the new home. Angel loves sleeping at the foot of my bed. That's cool. Hope the home is awesome. Is it bigger, smaller, different to the one you were in before? Sharon, it's 4:37 a.m. here in South Georgia right now. Well, so I can't blame only Sean for waking me up. My back woke me up. Okay, so Ross, what did you do to your back? Why would your back want to wake you up? It's usually my front that wakes me up. The part that hangs out over the bed. And then I've got to actually get up and then go to the bathroom, whatever. G'day, Bentleigh. Welcome aboard. Nice to have you here. No idea why you're a vampire tonight. Whose blood are you sucking? I know we've got a couple of vampires flying around. We call them mosquitoes. We're sitting on a nice warm evening of 20 degrees C. Joe was sitting on 30, so that's pretty warm. Margalan, we have had a few light flurries, but nothing stays very long. Well, that's cool. At least it's not cold enough to keep it there. G'day, Bentleigh from Michael Ann. And William is saying 5 bedrooms, 3 baths, 2,600 square feet on 1 acre. Mate, what are you doing with 5 bedrooms? You're going to sleep in all of them? And how many baths can you have? One a day? One for breakfast, one for lunch, and one for dinner? Seriously? Sounds like an awesome place. It's 1:40 a.m. where Fairy Dust is. Where are you, Fairy Dust? You would have to be West Coast. But whereabouts? Are you trotting around in your vehicle or are you in a bricks and mortar? Sharon is saying g'day. Bernay to the Michael Ann. William is saying it's called being a night owl. Fairy Dust. There we go. Oh, 5C. Frickin' hell. Hang on, Michael Ann. Let me just think about being there. How are you, Michael Ann? Oh, my goodness. My voice just went up an octave. God, that's cold. Ross, I have no idea why my back is hurting on the right side lower back. Moderate to sharp pain. Can't even bend over. Started yesterday and now it's worse. Seeing doctor later today. Has that got anything to do with the letter opener that I saw Donna sticking into the middle of your back last night when you didn't do the dishes? Bernay, so you're in Southern California. Are you still in your... Oh, you're in a house. Ah, so too cold for you to be boondocking, correct? Bernay is saying good day to Sharon. Sharon is saying, Orange Cone, you might need to go to the hospital. No, that was her fingernail. Oh, I didn't know that her fingernail was that long. But when I saw it, it kind of looked like the letter opener. But that's okay. It's okay. We can handle that. Bernay is Peace Dragon. All right, now Stream Elements has come in there and said, check out the Helping Hands for Cruising website. It's helpinghandsforcruising.org. Folks, pop in and have a look at that. That is an awesome website. It gives you all the hints and tips on what to do with Helping Hands for Cruising, because we've got a cruise-a-thon coming up. Haven't got any video for it as yet, but the cruise-a-thon will be on the 9th and 10th of February. We're still looking for some people who are going to participate, but we do have a nice schedule. Friday is pretty much almost filled, so we're just waiting on filling up Saturday, and the intention here, folks, is to raise at least 10 grand if we can, to help get more people on board cruise ships. So that would be absolutely amazing. Will, I'm in a room that is 9 foot wide and 10 foot long. My old room was 6 foot wide and 8 foot long. Mate, what do you need with so much space? Seriously. Goodness me. You use that space to... Man, I'd be standing one end throwing darts at a dartboard. Wow. No, better still, I'd get my golf clubs, which I don't have, and I'd whack the golf ball, which I don't have, against the target. Yeah, wow. How actually big is your house? That's a good question, Sharon. Come on, Mr. Peace Dragon, Mr. Will I am. How big is your place? Huh? If you've got 20, what's that, a quarter of an acre? What was the space? Let me go and have a look. Go back up the chat a sec. 2,600 square feet. Yeah, that's you're on an acre. Okay. So you're on the acre lot, so that's cool. Sleep, study, work on your books, watch movies. Mate, that looks like it is a permanent holiday. Now, what kind of books do you work on? Is it ones that you sell, or is it are you an accountant? In other words, you cook the books? I mean, the list goes on. Could be a whole host of things. Anyway, let's get back to talking about the important stuff, cruising. Now, something Joe didn't pick was this one over here. This is Melbourne by night. And if you have the opportunity to come down to Melbourne, you'll actually see this place here. It's in a building called Melbourne Central. And Melbourne Central has this atrium area, and this building here is called the Shot Tower. History was that during the Second World War, in this location, they did some testing for the armaments that they were building for the Second World War. So somebody would go to the top of that tower and drop a detonator down onto the ground and see if it would work. And that's how they would test all the detonators for the bombs that they were dropping. So there you go. That's the history of that particular place. It's quite a thriving area. It's right in the middle of the city. And Melbourne, the city of Melbourne is 1 square mile. So that's an interesting building to have a look at. Will is saying it's a split level, 3 bedrooms main floor and 2 bedrooms basement. So where are you, in the basement or upstairs? Ross, I want to see the Adelaide balls. Mate, you'll just have to wait to see Adelaide's balls. I will put them up for you another time. Not today. Adelaide's balls are special. Okay? Sharon, so Peace Dragon, you have 5 bedrooms altogether, huh? Yup. Sounds like a nice place. Okay. So, yep, Melbourne Central is an interesting place. Now, one of the things that you can do when you come to Melbourne is Melbourne has a tram system. We do have a rail system, but we also have a tram system. Now, for those that don't know, trams are like your trolley cars, for those of you across the pond. And the trams, they run actually quite regularly. If you're within the city CBD, well, there can only be one CBD, the Central Business District of the city. If you're in there, all the tram travel around the CBD is free. Minute you leave the CBD, then there are charges for tram travel. Alright, he's into sci-fi books, horror books, blood and gore books, fantasy books. Got a total of 23 books started, 1 finished, 2 more almost finished, 1 horror book given to a friend on main floor. Hey, now tell me something, Will. Do you read all these books at the same time, or do you finish one and start another? Ross, nuts. Well, mate, guess what? You just have to wait. Sharon, plus the kitchen, living room, etc. I would agree with that. That would be a good question, and yes. Bernay, Adelaide balls? Amy's dog is a girl. She's the only Adelaide I know of. Ignore me, lack of sleep. Well, Bernay, just to give you a heads up, Adelaide is a city. It is the capital of a state of ours called South Australia. If you have a look at it, you'll see it on the map. It is the only city in Australia that was settled by free settlers. It was never a penal colony. So South Australia was settled by free settlers. And in the middle of Adelaide town, city, in the sort of like the mall, the Rundle Mall it's called, in Rundle Mall there is a statue of some balls. So I'll have to put it up, and then you can see Adelaide's balls. They're absolutely exquisite. Yep. Will is saying, oh, you're funny, I'm writing them. Yep. Go ahead. Be my guest. Be my guest. Yep. So have a look. You can have a look at it on Dr. Google, and I will. One of the new things that I'm going to be doing on Hump Day is putting up different pictures around Australia. I might do a montage. How's that? How's that for this time of night, or for you guys this time of morning? Montage. It actually has 2 syllables. Montage. Well, Michael Land can correct me there, but anyway, montage of Adelaide. Might do that next because Sydney thinks they're the best, so I won't do Sydney. I'll do Adelaide, and then what I might do is I might even go into country, so I might even do some photos of Dubbo, so you get to see roughly where young Joe is from. Sharon is saying fairy dust, I'm a night owl too, having a giggle there. And Michael, Bernay is going, oh geez, well I learned something. Thank you, Sean. It's a pleasure. If I can help you with Australian history, I will. If I can help you with South African history too, I will. Sharon is going, everyone please hit the like button. Oh, thank you so much. Really appreciate that. I'm busy looking at my replay here, and it is showing me that I have no likes. So we need to get some in there. So thank you for that. Ross, Adelaide balls are stunning, especially when the sunlight catches them in the right way. They glisten, and you are correct. They are. They're absolutely awesome. And yes, it just takes the sun to shine in, but it's right in the middle of the mall. So there you go, and you've got Adelaide's balls, which are overlooked by the penguin. Ilana took some, not penguin, the pigeon. Ilana took some amazing photos, which, well, it was video. So I'll try and find the best slides of those and put those in when I do Adelaide. It's going to be awesome. Bernay, Sharon, I'm not sure if I'm going to follow you at Jimmy's and Eddie's. Yeah, I won't be going to Jimmy's, I'm afraid. There's a limit to how long I can stay out. Will, that is writing book on my computer. You're writing a book? The finished one is printed out and she will publish it when she needs good income. Oh. So, what are your books? Oh, so your book's about all those sort of things, the horror and the whatchamacallits, which is awesome. Well, you keep it up, mate. You never know, you might make a fortune writing books. Sharon, Fairy Dust, you all right? I'll sure be there if you feel like being there. Well, I know that when Bernay gets to a point that she's really, really tired, she gets to a point where she just shuts herself away from things. And I think it's either tired or stressed or both. In my case, we're just stressed. We've had a few things happen that have been business related. So, and one of them is going to kick off tomorrow in a big way. So we'll see how we go. Anyway, folks, what can I say? We're having fun. Sean, I write poetry sometimes. Well, Sharon, you know what? We're not adverse to having some poetry put up. I'll tell you what. We have the cruise-a-thon for Helping Hands for Cruising happening on the 9th and 10th of February. I'm going to ask you a favor, Sharon. Why don't you write a poem for us? And we will read it publicly on one of the channels, and we will give you some kudos, some naming out there. But if we can use some of that to raise some funds for Helping Hands, so that we can get some people on board a cruise ship, wouldn't that be awesome? Free publicity for you, and we get some benefit out of it, and you help in getting some people on a cruise ship. How does that sound? Most of the books from William, most of the books have people that breaks the fourth wall. Okay, what's the fourth wall? You'll have to tell me, William. I'm kind of slow with that. Bernay, I'm all right, Sharon. I need to get up to run errands in the morning. Aha. Oh, Ross is published. He has written 12 articles. Well, let me put this to you, Ross. I get published every day. I put up 12 courses every day. What kind of poem? Well, Sharon, a poem that has some... okay, what does Helping Hands for Cruising mean to you? A poem based on that. Have a look at the channel, HH4C, on YouTube. Have a look, see what you come up with. And that'll give you some pointers. You'll see some of the things in the channel there, some of the videos that have been put out before, some of the interviews that were done with people like Kenny and a few others. Have a look at that, and then that might inspire you to write a poem based on that. We'd love a poem for HH4C. Ross is going for professional journals in higher education and business journals. Oh, Ross, excuse me. You're almost sounding like an elite passenger, an elite guest on a Princess ship. Seriously. Sharon, that would be extremely wonderful, Sean. Yeah? What do you reckon, huh? That'd be awesome. Thank you for that. And okay, Fairy Dust. Okay, William, do you have an email address that I can email you bits and pieces of some of the books? Yes, William. What I'm going to suggest is just go look in the Helping Hands for Cruising website. That's Helping Hands, the number 4, cruising.net, and have a look in there, and it'll give you. Is it that, or is it HH4C? No, it's Helping Hands, the number 4, cruising.net. Have a look in there, and then it will give you an email address that you can send it to me, and I'll get it, and then have a look. Okay, thank you, Sharon. I really appreciate that. William is saying, when a person breaks the fourth, they talk to the reader of the audience in a movie. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, that makes sense. Well, that'll be awesome. So I would love to have a look at some of that. Anyway, guys, it's coming up to 3 minutes to the hour. I know that somebody else will be waking up and getting ready to get their show on the road. In the meantime, I'm getting a little bit on the tired side. So what I want to do is, we've got some special guests coming up on Friday night. These guys have done in excess of 50 cruises on board Carnival ships. They are an amazing couple. Look, the bloke, I'm not going to tell you their names because you'll get to see their names on the when you pop in on Friday night. But this couple, he is a dead ringer for me. I mean, he's got my sense of humor. He does things the way I do things. It's awesome. You want to actually come in on Friday night and watch us in the chat. I'm telling you now, you're going to be peeing yourself laughing. So, Michael Ann is saying good night, and Sharon is saying, Sean, you need to get your rest. I do. I've got an early start tomorrow. William is saying, can play the Helping Hands for Cruising theme song? Yeah, I will play that. Not tonight, though. I will play that next week, Tuesday. But absolutely. Michael Ann is going CCA. I'm not sure what that means. Michael Ann. But you can message me on Messenger and I'll understand it. Good to see you from Bernay. Hugs to Ilana, please. Everyone sees you later. Absolutely. Thank you for popping in. We love you guys. And Ross, yes, he's great, except he drinks that questionable beer. Yeah, that bloke needs to be actually sorted. I get it. Yes, Michael Ann, you are correct. Sharon, it is 4:58 there in South Georgia. Now, well, for us, it is coming into 1 minute to 9. So I'm out of here. Folks, you have an awesome day, and we'll catch you round the traps. Take it easy.